Step into the energy, the spotlight, the raw connection of a live show. You can almost hear the beat dropping, right?
Yeah, there's really nothing quite like that moment, that buzz.
And for independent hip-hop, trap, and R&B artists in 2025, hitting that stage isn't just an option anymore. The source material makes it crystal clear. It's absolutely crucial.
Totally. It's a must-do.
That's what we're locked into today. We've taken this comprehensive guide, Find, Book, and Master Hip-Hop Gigs in 2025, and we are pulling out the absolute essential insights for you.
We're digging deep into it.
Our mission is simple. We're cutting through the noise to give you the clearest path to actually getting yourself on stage this year, leveraging those performances to build a real fan base, and navigating this vibrant, dynamic live scene.
Because in a world saturated with digital streams and short-form video, the guide highlights why the live experience is making a massive comeback. Seriously.
Okay, let's unpack this. Why are live shows spiking in importance, specifically for indie artists right now?
Well, it really boils down to connection, The guide points out that while streams and TikTok numbers are great, they don't replicate the feeling of being in a room where people are experiencing your music together.
Right, that shared energy.
Exactly, that live show. That's where a listener feels the bass in their chest, sees your energy, and shares that moment with others. That experience is what turns casual listeners into dedicated fans.
And it's your ultimate training ground, isn't it? Your stage presence, how you handle the mic, connecting with a crowd. You hone your craft under those lights in a way you never could in a studio.
Absolutely. And the guide makes a really powerful point about word-of-mouth buzz. A truly memorable live performance generates organic conversations that online algorithms just can't replicate. People leave talking about you and that feeling.
History backs this up. Think about Ed Sheeran playing like over 1,000 gigs early on, right?
Yeah, or the countless hip-hop legends who cut their teeth grinding in small clubs and open mics. This isn't a new strategy, but its effectiveness is amplified today because, frankly, people are hungry for real-life experiences again.
Yeah, definitely feeling that post-pandemic boom. Live music scene is absolutely thriving.
Fans are back in full force, and there's a huge demand for fresh talent. The numbers are pretty wild. Eventbrite, for instance, distributed 250 million tickets, 270 million to over 4.7 million events, just in 2024.
Wow. 270 million. That's massive opportunity right there.
Huge. And what's really interesting is that the guide notes how new tools are popping up and gaining traction, like the new BeatsToRapOn Events tools. Artists are finding them easier and more intuitive than some older search methods.
Which is fantastic news for anyone looking to get on stage. It signals an evolving ecosystem that's potentially more accessible.
Right. The key takeaway here for you is that the demand exists, the tools to find it are improving, and there's a real opportunity to tap into new audiences and actually earn income if you put in the work.
Okay, so the landscape is ripe with potential. But standing on stage starts with finding the opportunity. How do you actually map out the scene and find the right gigs for you in 2025?
The source lays out several key pathways. Event platforms are a solid starting point. BeatsToRapOn is highlighted as a gold mine for finding local music events, whether it's open mics or club nights.
And the stats back it up. A report found a third of event goers, 33%, are using BeatsToRapOn to discover events. You can use simple searches there, like Hip Hop Showcase, and then your city.
But don't stop there, obviously. Platforms like Bands in Town are used by over 90 million fans, and Songkick by over 15 million.
So these aren't just for finding places to play.
Exactly. The real insight here isn't just finding places to play, but using these to find shows to attend. Networking by supporting other artists and just being visible is a core strategy the guide emphasizes again and again.
That connection point is key. Beyond general platforms, the guide specifically calls out BeatsToRapOn's dedicated event search as a valuable tool.
Yeah, this sounds like a serious shortcut. It's built specifically for hip-hop, trap, and R&B events, letting you filter by city, date, and even event type. The guide describes it as feeling like an insider directory.
So check that weekly. Make it part of the routine.
Definitely. And hey, don't overlook the basics. A simple Google search like rap open mic in your city can still pull up gems. Sometimes the simplest thing works.
Absolutely. And social media is non-negotiable. Get into local music and open mic Facebook groups. Follow venue and promoter pages on Instagram. They often announce calls for artists there.
Right, gotta be proactive. Even communities on X, formerly Twitter, and Reddit, like Arm Making Hyphop, have artists sharing tips and local info. You have to be proactive. Opportunities rarely just land in your lap.
The guide also mentions these more specialized databases like Indie on the Move, Gig Finder, Sonic Bids, and GigNet. They list venues and promoters.
Just a heads up, though, the guide notes some of these might have membership or submission fees. Sonic Bids, for example, is known for this.
Okay, so weigh the costs.
Yeah, be mindful of those costs, especially when you're starting out. Weigh the time saving against the expense. Indie on the Move is specifically mentioned as being good for listing venues and promoters who are actively seeking artists.
Beyond the digital hunt, the guide really hammers home the importance of community and networking, even online.
Right, the human connection. The Creators Network on BeatsToRapOn is presented as a central online hub for artists, promoters, and fans. Keeping your profile updated there, indicating you're a performer, makes you visible to bookers who are searching by location and genre.
So engage in the forums, be active.
Exactly. It's like a targeted LinkedIn for the scene. Consistent visibility helps.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Build your digital presence and be an active participant. And the guide has a crucial pro tip here. Start local. Build that base in your hometown.
Yeah, that momentum is what helps you snowball into regional and national opportunities. And be proactive. Reach out weeks, even months in advance for gigs. Don't wait till the last minute.
Okay, so you're mapping the landscape, finding potential opportunities. Now it's vital to understand that not all stages are created equal. Knowing the different types of gigs helps you target opportunities that match where you are and where you want to go.
Let's start at the fundamental level. Open mic nights. The guide rightly calls them the launch pad.
And for good reason. They're usually the easiest entry point, low pressure, perfect for practicing your set, testing new material, and just getting seen.
You'll find them at local lounges, bars, community centers, often listed on those online platforms, or even Meetup. Sign-up is typically first come, first served, so showing up early is key. Some might have online sign-ups beforehand.
And the set is usually short.
Yeah, expect a short set, usually 1-2 songs, maybe 3 to 5 minutes total. You'll need your instrumental track, usually on your phone or a USB for the DJ. The atmosphere is generally supportive, and here's a major insight the guide highlights. Open mics are often where you meet your best industry contacts, other artists, producers, maybe even promoters just scouting.
That's a powerful takeaway. It's where you pay your dues, build your network. Think about Chance the Rapper coming up through Chicago's open mics.
Right, or legendary spots like New York and Poets Cafe in NYC or Project Blowed in LA. The guide's advice: treat every single one like a full show, no matter the crowd size. It's always practice, always an opportunity.
Okay, makes sense. Once you've got those open mic reps in, the next step often involves showcases and small venue concerts.
These are a step up. They're typically curated events featuring a lineup of emerging artists doing slightly longer, short sets. You're usually invited or selected to perform.
Where do these usually happen?
They happen at more established music venues and clubs, often on weeknights. These can draw bigger crowds and might have media or A&Rs, that's short for artist and repertoire, essentially talent scouts or industry execs looking for new artists in the audience. So more eyeballs.
And getting on these, networking again.
Pretty much. Getting on these often involves networking, building relationships with promoters, and sometimes submitting your material formally.
Now, the guide has a really crucial warning here that needs to be front and center. Pay to play.
Yes, this is a major red flag the guide is very clear about. Be highly skeptical of promoters who require you to sell a large number of tickets just to get on the bill, or even worse, charge you high upfront fees with vague promises of exposure.
So stick to reputable events.
Exactly. Focus on reputable events that consistently draw real crowds or industry presence, even if the payment is just exposure or a small stipend. A recommended approach from the guide is to attend the showcase first, see the vibe, and then approach the promoter in person afterwards.
Ask them how you can get involved later.
Right. Ask them how you can potentially be considered for a future lineup. That personal touch can make a difference.
Are there examples of good showcases?
Yeah, the guide points to real-world examples like SOB's Next Up series in NYC, which is known for hand-picking talent and can lead to opening for bigger acts. Others include Coast 2, Coast Live, or classic radio showcases. While pay is often low or non-existent at this level, the exposure and the content you capture are valuable.
And a smart tip for these.
Yeah.
Bring your supporters, your hype squad.
Yes. Promoters are watching who can bring people out. Bringing even a small, energetic crew shows you have local pull. It matters.
Which brings us to the bigger dream gigs. Festivals and tours.
Sure.
Rolling Loud, Lollapalooza, SXSWs. These are highly competitive, but absolutely possible for independent artists who strategize.
Definitely. The source highlights that while the headliners are huge, major hip-hop festivals like Rolling Loud often include slots for up-and-comers, particularly those with strong online momentum. Some even run contests where winning gets you on stage.
And look beyond the absolute biggest names, too.
For sure. Festivals like Wireless in the UK, Broccoli City in DC, A3C in Atlanta, and many regional festivals have apply-to-play processes. You typically submit an EPK, that electronic press kit will talk about your artist resume, and maybe a fee.
The timeline here is critical, though.
Absolutely. The guide emphasizes deadlines are months in advance. SXSW 2025 applications, for instance, close in late 2024, 5 months before the festival. You need to be thinking about summer festivals in the fall or winter of the previous year. Mark those calendars.
And tour opening slots. How does that work?
Landing opening slots on tours is tough, but definitely happens, especially finding local support slots for artists coming through your city. Promoters often add a local artist to help draw a hometown crowd. Follow tour announcements, find the local promoter, and send a pitch highlighting your local fan base.
Relationships matter here, too, I bet.
Big time. Relationships you've built matter here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guide even mentions asking other artists how they got on tour. Sometimes the honest answer is, I just asked, or I knew someone. Don't be afraid to ask.
But there's a reality check needed for these big opportunities.
Yeah, the guide is clear. They are often unpaid or offer only a small amount, and you'll likely cover your own travel. You have to weigh the cost versus the exposure. A festival slot is amazing for your resume and online content, but don't go into debt chasing it.
So start with local or regional festivals, maybe?
Exactly. Local and regional fests are often much more accessible starting points for building up. And this is where your online presence connects directly to live opportunities. Bookers for these bigger stages will check your social media and streaming numbers. A strong online buzz absolutely helps you get noticed.
To make this even more concrete, the source takes us on a quick tour of how these principles play out in some major hip-hop hubs: New York City, Los Angeles, and Atlanta.
Starting with NYC, it's called the Mecca of Open Mics and Showcases. The guide spotlights places like SOB's Next Up series, iconic venue, curated talent, potential to open for bigger acts you can submit online. And the legendary New York and Poets Cafe open mic is a must-know.
Plus other local series, too.
Right, like Faces in the Crowd, Major Stage, or the competition-focused end of the week. The core insight for NYC. Relationships are everything. You got to show up, support other artists, be seen, and bring your A game when your name is called.
Okay, then LA. Showcase glitz and pay-to-play traps.
Yeah, that's how the guide puts it. Hollywood venues like the Mint or Whiskey A Go-Go are mentioned, often with those ticket-selling requirements, reinforcing that pay-to-play caution. Researching the promoter in LA is crucial.
But there's an underground scene, too.
Definitely. LA also has that incredible underground legacy like Project Blowed and the scene in Leimert Park with events like Bananas, which focus on raw talent and community. And unique opportunities pop up, pre-festival contests, radio contests, the college circuit across the huge county.
So the LA takeaway is?
Presentation is key. Solid EPK, good photos video, and be prepared for the hustle across a massive geographical area. The LA traffic is real, so plan accordingly.
And Atlanta, the trap capital.
Right. It blends institutional open mics with competitive showcases. Apache XLR is highlighted as an institution with a live band, fostering community and skill building. You'll find competitive club and lounge open mics, particularly around areas like Edgewood or Old National Highway, where industry folks are often scouting.
A3C is there, too.
Yep, A3C Festival offers application slots for indie artists, and there's a strong culture of trap-specific events. The Atlanta tip. Come correct with your authentic sound and energy. It's a networking heaven, it's who you know is true here, but it's about building genuine connections.
Across all these cities, the guide's overarching message is powerful. Every major artist started somewhere small. Each performance, whether it's to 5 people or 50, is a vital step in building your reputation and skill.
Absolutely. It's all part of the journey.
And building that reputation and getting noticed leads us to the actual business of getting booked. Networking and presenting yourself professional.
Networking is absolutely non-negotiable. The guide includes a striking quote from an artist. 9 times out of 10, live event promoters are booking their friends.
Which sounds harsh, but the point is...
But the key insight here isn't that it's unfair nepotism. It means you have to become part of the scene, one of those trusted connections. You got to become one of those friends.
How do you do that? Show up consistently at other artist shows, attend local events, become a familiar face. Network genuinely, have real conversations, support others. Don't just show up when you want something.
Leverage social media too. Follow and interact with promoters and venues online. Join local music groups. Look for their calls for artists. The Creators Network is again highlighted as a digital space to build this presence. Keep your profile updated. Be active in the community forums.
Offer value, build relationships.
Exactly. Help out, share info, build those two-way relationships. The goal is to naturally become someone a booker thinks of when they have a slot.
Once you've made those connections, or even if you're reaching out cold, you need to be ready to pitch yourself. Crafting that pitch is all about professional presentation.
This starts with your electronic press kit, or EPK. Think of it as your artist resume, your central hub of information. The guide recommends making it a clean web page or a well-organized PDF.
And what goes in it? The essentials.
Your bio, music samples, live performance videos, those are crucial high-quality photos, links to your social media and streaming profiles, and clear contact info. The source quotes ditto music advice here, saying the EPK makes the booker's life easy by having everything in one place. It's your professional snapshot.
Makes sense. So when you reach out, email is best.
Generally, yeah. Email is usually the most professional and trackable method. And personalize the message. A clear subject line helps, like booking inquiry, your artist name for venue event name.
And keep the email itself short and sweet.
Definitely. Start with a polite greeting, ideally using the promoter's name if you can find it. Mention you're a local artist or are interested in their city. Maybe offer a genuine compliment about their venue or past events. Briefly introduce yourself, your genre, your vibe, maybe one small point of credibility.
Then link the EPK.
Include a link to your EPK. Or, if not a full EPK page, include direct links to listen to music and watch a live performance video. Make it incredibly easy for them to check you out. And here's a major tip. Keep it short. Promoters are busy. A few concise sentences are much more effective than a long bio dump.
The guide gives a structure for that too.
Yeah, it provides elements of a good example email structure, emphasizing politeness, relevance, and getting straight to the point with those key links.
And follow-up. Be patient.
Very patient. After sending, be patient. A single polite follow-up email, maybe a week or two later, is okay, but don't spam or get frustrated. If there's no response, move on. And always, always follow the venue or promoter's specific instructions if they have a formal booking form or email submission process.
Good point. And look out for new tools as well.
Yeah, keep an eye on new tools. Upner is mentioned as a matchmaking app where organizers post slots and artists can submit, using data to help connect people. Embracing these new technologies can give you an edge.
All right, let's get down to the practical stuff that sometimes gets overlooked. The money talk and the crucial preparation that happens before you hit the stage.
Money matters, but maybe not how you expect early on. You need to budget for gigging costs, transport, maybe food, even lodging if you travel. Weigh those expenses against the potential exposure or opportunity.
And the payment reality. Often not much at the start.
Exactly. The payment reality for emerging artists, as the guide states, is that you shouldn't expect significant income early on. Many initial gigs are free for exposure, or maybe a small cut of the door or a modest stipend. Clarify the payment structure up front, but don't rely on it for income initially.
And this is where that pay-to-play caution circles back.
Yes. Be extremely wary of outright paying a fee just to get on stage. Selling tickets can be part of the hustle in some scenes, but outright fees for vague promises are a major red flag.
The guide suggests organizing your own shows instead.
Yeah, organizing your own shows with fellow artists is presented as a better alternative to paying exploitative promoters. A small fee for entering a legit contest might be okay, but the goal is to get paid for your talent eventually, not the other way around.
Don't forget merch and tips, though.
Right. You can also earn extra cash from merch sales, even just $5 stickers or $10 tees add up, or a tip bucket, maybe share your Cash App or Venmo QR code.
So the bottom line is, prioritize experience, avoid exploitation.
That's the balance. Prioritize exposure and experience, but don't let yourself be exploited.
Now let's talk about the show itself. The guide has a fantastic section on preparation, emphasizing that a great show is like 90% prep work.
It starts with rehearsal. Practice your set like it's live stand-up. Use a mic if you have one. Move around, project your voice, focus on breath control. Do full run-throughs from top to bottom.
Record yourself too.
Yes, record yourself to watch back and critique. Build that muscle memory so you're not just thinking about the words on stage.
And backing tracks. This seems important.
Crucial. The guide is very specific. Use performance tracks. That's the beat, maybe backing vocals or ad-libs, but no lead vocal. You should not be rapping over your own full studio vocal. It sounds amateur.
Okay, high-quality files, backups needed.
Use high-quality audio files, MP3 or WAV, have backups on a USB, label them clearly, and know the BPMs or musical key if relevant for the DJ or band. Communicate clearly with whoever is handling the sound.
Stage presence, is that just natural talent?
Not entirely. Stage presence is practiced. Plan your movement, your energy, how you'll engage the crowd, where will you move, how will you interact. Simple things like asking people to put their hands up or repeat a line make a difference.
And nerves are normal.
Totally normal. Nervousness is normal. The guide even mentions that artists like Chris Brown still get anxious before shows. Channel that adrenaline into energy.
Okay, vocal and physical prep.
Key 2. Warm-ups, lip trills, humming, stretch, hydrate. Room temperature water is best. Avoid dairy or cold drinks right before performing.
What about a show kit? What should you bring?
The guide recommends a show kit, your USB with those backups, a printed set list, and maybe a spare. Water, merch, even just stickers. Business cards or flyers with a QR code to your music, and maybe your own mic if you prefer, and the venue allows.
Having a crew helps.
Hugely. Bringing a crew friends for hype, someone to film, another artist for feedback can be hugely helpful if possible.
Sound check, always go if you can.
If sound check is offered, always go. Adjust levels, feel the stage, run your loudest, most energetic song to test the sound. Get there early, even if there's no formal sound check, to introduce yourself to the sound engineer or DJ and communicate your needs.
Plan your outfit, coordinate props.
Yep, plan your outfit, something that fits your brand, is comfortable, and lets you move. Coordinate any props or guest appearances in advance with the venue and promoter.
And mental prep just before going on.
Critical. Center yourself before you walk out, whether that's quiet focus, listening to music, or even a power pose. Channel the nerves. Focus on delivering. Maybe even focus on one person in the audience at first if a crowd feels overwhelming. The first 30 seconds on stage can feel the hardest.
And doing the performance itself.
Give it absolutely everything, even if it's a small crowd. If you mess up, keep going. The audience usually won't even notice. If equipment fails, keep your composure, joke, improvise, interact with the crowd while it's being fixed. Stay professional.
And after the show, don't just leave.
No! Stick around. Talk to people. Thank the audience. Thank the promoter and sound person. Connect with other artists. Post-show networking solidifies those connections you made pre-show. The guide even mentions a downloadable checklist, which sounds like a game changer for keeping all this straight.
Okay, you've found the gig, you've prepped like a pro, you've killed it on stage, but your job isn't done. How do you make sure people actually show up? Building buzz through promotion is step 2 after getting booked.
Absolutely. The guide says announce your gig ASAP on social media, create a Facebook event, design a killer flyer, Canva is your friend, and post it everywhere. Instagram, X, TikTok. Send reminders, but vary your content. Use photos, graphics, short video clips.
Tagging is important too.
Yeah. Tag the venue and any other artists on the bill. Use relevant hashtags. TikTok clips promoting your upcoming show can be super effective.
Leverage tools here as well. AI, maybe?
Yeah. Beyond design apps like Canva, the guide suggests exploring AI tools for generating social content ideas or drafting a basic press release. Small geo-targeted ads on social media, even $20, can make a difference locally. Don't forget your email list if you have one.
And personal invites always work best.
Right. Personal invites to friends and contacts, they're much more likely to come.
What about local media?
Consider local media. Send information about significant shows to local event listings in newspapers, community websites, maybe college or community radio stations. For bigger opportunities, a press release to local bloggers or the lifestyle section of news sites could get picked up.
And old school stuff still has a place.
Totally. Old school methods still work. Putting up flyers in relevant local spots, record stores, cafes, college campuses, and the most powerful promotion, word of mouth from your core network, friends, family, coworkers, your community.
During and after the show, keep promoting.
Make it easy for people to find you online. Remind them of your social media handles and where to find your music. If you have merch, tell them where the table is. After the show, share content from the performance photos, videos, thank the attendees, tag the venue and promoter.
That's social proof for later.
Exactly. This provides social proof for future bookers and keeps the buzz going. A recap video or vlog of the experience can be great content.
And don't forget that post-show networking.
Right. Add new contacts you met. Connect with the other artists on the bill, potential collaborators or future showmates. Definitely follow up and thank the promoter or booker. Politely ask about future opportunities. Keep me in mind for similar events.
All this helps build your draw.
By consistently promoting, you build your draw, the number of people who reliably come out specifically to see you. The guide stresses that this isn't just about ego. Building your draw directly increases your bargaining power with venues and promoters down the line.
Start small. Even 10-15 people is a win.
Exactly. Start small, getting just 10-15 people out for you is a win. Grow that number steadily. The guide wraps this all together by emphasizing the integrated strategy. Consistent gigging, a strong online presence, and releasing music all feed into each other in this virtuous cycle. It connects directly to your overall branding and fan base growth.
We touched on many common questions throughout, but maybe a quick recap of some key FAQs the guide covers, like finding the first gig.
Yeah, start with open mics and relentlessly network. That's the key.
What's in an ETK again?
It's your artist resume bio, music, video, photos, links, everything in one spot.
Booking timelines, how far ahead?
Local gigs, think 1-2 months out. Festivals, way more, 6+ months ahead, easily.
Pay to play.
Cautionary approach. Avoid paying upfront fees if you can. Research the promoter.
Common performance mistakes to avoid.
Rapping over full vocals is a big one. Standing still like a statue. Not engaging the crowd at all.
Improving stage presence.
Practice, practice, practice. Bring energy. Interact with the audience. Study performers you admire.
And handling small crowds. Don't get discouraged.
Play with passion. Every single person matters. Treat it like a full house. It's valuable practice. Consistency builds reputation no matter the crowd size.
So there you have it. This deep dive has taken us through the essential steps from finding opportunities online and hitting those foundational open mics to crafting a compelling pitch, preparing meticulously for your set, and captivating the audience on stage.
Yeah, it covers a lot of ground. The guide makes it clear that live performance in 2025 is a potent tool for artistic growth, building genuine connections, and expanding your reach.
It requires hustle, heart, and continuous improvement, a mindset of relentless dedication, as the source puts it.
Absolutely. The stage is waiting for you. The insights from this guide give you a real roadmap.
So the final thought for you listening. What one concrete step can you take this week to move closer to your next stage? Maybe it's finally putting together that first draft of your EPK, researching local open mics near you online, or simply dedicating a chunk of time tonight to rehearsing your set with more intensity, imagining the crowd there.
Yeah, what's that first move? The journey starts with that single intentional step.